enemies of Islam and did the work of spy. So in the whole world, even in the present situation. And what about Tony Blair? Tony Blair was a Protestant, and he left that movement and became a Roman Catholic. So these people were killing innocent people. For example, if a particular person had come from your neighboring village and killed one of your friends in your village, if you just destroy the entire village, who had done the most serious crime? The person who had came and killed an innocent one person from this village, or who had destroyed the entire village? So that is what the America is doing in Afghanistan. And without any reason, America is doing that and continue to do that in Iraq. So who are the number one terrorists? That is United States of America, their rulers, and Britain and their rulers. And you take the entire history of the world. You take the entire history, prior to the Jesus Christ itself, there had been rulers and emperors who had committed a lot of atrocities. And they were not Muslims. But even after the Quran was revealed, all the atrocities during the imperial wars, during the 16th, 17th, 18th and 19th centuries, the Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Portugal, Spain, Denmark, they fought each other. They attacked many countries. They killed millions of people. These deeds are terrorism. There's no doubt about it. What about the Second World War? And what about the Cold War? Britain, France, Germany, Italy. They fought each other. Russia, China. The Muslims were nowhere there. Now in the present situation, you should understand one thing. Present situation, you have to evaluate the situation. In Palestine, the Jews established a state on the basis of religion. The Americans support Israel on the basis of religion. Why did the Jews establish a state there? Because according to their faith, the Jewish state has to be established at Palestine, with Jerusalem should come within that. It is the part of the faith. Is it not religion? And why Americans support that? Because the American evangelists support that, because there is a prediction in the Bible that the Jews will get Jerusalem back. So in order to prove that prediction, in order to prove that the Bible is correct, they are doing that. This is part of faith, part of religion. And you take the Palestinian people, they are fighting not for an Islamic state, to get their homeland back. You take the case of Chechnya, they are fighting there to get their homeland. You take the case of Bosnia or Kosovo, they had fought there to get their homeland. Even in Kashmir, as an Indian and as a person who has evaluated the situation, I want Kashmir always to be part of India. But the people in Kashmir are fighting not for an Islamic state, for a state of Kashmir. That's a political aspect. But there are people, a minuscule, misguided minority among the Muslim community, who resort to terrorism and extremism, but you cannot attribute their deeds in the name of an account of Islam. Because chapter 5 verse 32 says, Man qatala nafsan bighayri nafsin aw fasadin fil ardi faka'annama qatala an-nasa jami'a wa man ahyaha faka'annama ahya an-nasa jami'a. Except for murder or committing atrocities on earth, if you kill an innocent person, it is equivalent to murdering the entire humanity. And if you save an innocent person, it is equivalent to saving the entire humanity. How can a true Muslim kill innocent people? How can a true Muslim commit atrocities even against enemies when chapter 5 verse 32 says, let not your hatred towards others permit you to commit atrocities and depart from justice. And how can a true Muslim destroy the things worshipped by others when chapter 6 verse 108 says, وَلَا تَصُبُوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. You should not make even fun or ridicule of things or persons since worshipped by others. How can a true Muslim destroy the place of worship belonging to non-Muslims? When chapter 22 verse 40 says, وَلَوْلَا دَفْعُ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ بَعْضَهُمْ بِبَعْضٍ لَهُدِّمَتْ صَوَامِعُ وَبِيَعٌ وَصَلَوَاتٌ وَمَسَاجِدُ يُذْكَرُ فِيهَا اسْمُ اللَّهِ كَثِيرًا. If Allah has not prevented certain persons through certain others, synagogues, churches, monasteries and masjids where Allah's name is praised would have been destroyed. How can a true Muslim deny justice to non-Muslims when chapter 60 verse 8 says that Allah does not prevent you from doing justice to non-Muslims? How can Muslims fight for communalism when the Islamic scholars said لَيْسَ مِنَّا مَنْ دَعَا إِلَىٰ أَصَبِيَّةٍ وَقَاتَلَ إِلَىٰ أَصَبِيَّةٍ وَمَاتَ إِلَىٰ أَصَبِيَّةٍ? Those who invite others to communalism, kill for communalism and die for communalism do not belong to us. How can a true Muslim justify the wrongs committed by persons with Muslim names when the Prophet defined communalism by stating, when your community does a wrong and if you do not say it is wrong, then it is communalism. Even during wars fought as a defense, a Muslim cannot commit atrocities, because the Prophet has clearly stated that you should not kill innocent people, you should not harm women, you should not harm children, you should not cut trees, you should not destroy crops, and you should not disturb non-Muslims who are praying in the monasteries. And how can a true Muslim blow himself as a human bomb when chapter 4 verse 29 of the Quran says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ? You should not kill yourself. To fight for justice and die is martyrdom. You will get heaven. And a person was fighting like that, but he got a wound and he could not endure the pain. He plunged his sword to his belly and he killed himself. The Prophet said because of that he lost paradise and he will be in hellfire. The Prophet warned us, whoever jumps from a mountain and kills himself, he will be in hell, and he will be constantly jumping from heights. Whoever kills himself by thrusting a sharp weapon into his body will be in hell, and he will be thrusting sharp weapons constantly while he is in hell. And whoever kills himself by consuming poison, he will be in hell. So if any person are acting against these directions, you cannot call him an Islamic terrorist. You cannot attribute the deeds in the account of Islam. Nobody calls Adolf Hitler a Christian Hitler. He was a Roman Catholic. He committed a lot of atrocities. No one calls Mussolini, who committed grave atrocities on humanity, as a Christian Mussolini. Nobody calls the Serbs of Yugoslavia, who killed innocent men, women and children, raped women merely because they were Muslims, as Orthodox Christian Serbs. Nobody calls the fighting groups of Ireland as Roman Catholic terrorists or Protestant terrorists. I will never call them Christians terrorists, because I believe that they were not acting according to the principles of Christianity. Similarly, you cannot judge the actions of certain persons on the basis of their deeds and account on the basis of their names and account their deeds in the name of Islam. So to answer the point, the question, why vast majority of terrorists are Muslims, that's not correct. In the world as well as in India, the persons who had done the most heinous crimes were not persons with Muslim names. Who is the person who is ruling in Gujarat, who killed 2,000 innocent people? He is not a Muslim. And what about the Bombay riots? Even the Sri Krishna Commission said that person instigated that. He is not a Muslim. So terrorism means terrorists are there in all faiths and all religions, but you cannot attribute their deeds in the accounts of their respective faiths. That's what we have to understand.
Our time is very limited, so we expect from girls. Last question. One student from Karuna Medical College had given a written question. Please ask directly. Yes. Ansida Mariam from Karuna Medical College, Palakkad. Please. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. I would like to know, is there any limitation with the relationship for a non-Muslim?
Please ask loudly.
Yes, I got the question. I'll repeat it. Is there any restrictions for maintaining a good relationship with non-Muslims? Could you please describe with the reference mentioned?